It's Diggerman Fly here, and today I bring you another exciting product. And as my previous videos, you guys actually seen most of my shocks and springs covered with Bad Horsey shock covers. Now that video is still awaiting a review. I've actually ran my kits, and I'll be doing a review about those. But I found a new product for these shocks. No, these aren't my 1/8 shocks or my buggy shocks or my truggy. These are from my HPI Baja 5B. These are the stock shocks. But I'm going to show you guys here what product I'm talking about. So here we have rcskin.com. You guys can go check them out. You can check out their products. These are actually rubber coated shock covers. They're 40 inches long, so pretty much you cut them to length. I haven't opened the package yet. I haven't seen that. I mean, this is brand new. Like I said, I ordered it off of DDM. If you guys don't know DDM, Dave's Discount Motors Racing, product number BH250. RC Skin shock covers, black. Of course, I chose them black just to go on with my black and gold theme. I'll be posting a video of my Baja so you guys know what I'm talking about. But black works perfect. So let's go ahead and open this package, see what it looks like. Okay, so we already took off the cardboard part, and let's go ahead and open them up. Okay, so inside you have a set of instructions here. If you've never put them on, we can go ahead and follow this set of instructions just to keep it instructional. And pretty much this is what you have. That's what it is. It's 40 inches, not 40 feet, 40 inches of like a rubberized material. As you can see here, if I turn it inside out, the inside is like a it's like a cloth material. The outside is rubber. So all you have to do is pretty much, let's try to do this on camera. Okay, let me check this viewfinder out. There we go. Okay, you pretty much measure enough to cover the top and the bottom. Okay, and then you make your cut. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so if we follow the instructions, okay, you see step 1, stretch the end of the tube and insert the spring, and then you have to leave 3/4 of an inch longer than the spring. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have to stretch it out. Okay, got a text message. So you stretch it out. You could use either method that I've used on my previous videos. You could just roll it in or just stretch it all over it. So I've gotten it halfway. As you can see, it's real tedious to stretch it over. So what I did was pretty much just use my method of just rolling it on there. And you can see it goes in pretty good. You just have to make sure to try to keep it even and unroll it every time it twists. So as you see the bottom is starting to twist, so you just keep it on there, and eventually it'll make its way onto the top. Let's finish putting this in and I'll show you guys how to mount it. I believe we have about 3/4. If not, I can just kind of squeeze. In order to get the shock down, I just squeeze here and push down. You see it kind of like pushes it all down. Sounds terrible. Okay, there we go. So now I got kind of a little bit more up top. So let's go ahead and let's trim on the bottom. Okay, let's trim just about there. So what I found works best is if you actually set the spring on a flat surface, okay, and you grab those both sides and you pretty much squeeze it down. Look at that, right on camera. So how I put it in there, easy. As long as you stretch out first, this stitch is always gonna, let me show you guys. This stitch here is always gonna go. So those are like your handles that pretty much are kind of made for you. So once you have it like that, you stretch it over. Now this is where it gets real hard, okay? Because you have this tiny bit and you have nowhere else to grab. So I actually have my dynamite driver, and it doesn't have any tip right now. So I actually found that putting it there actually makes up more room for you to pull down. So watch, let's see if I can do this on one shot, one take. All you do is pull out the driver. Look at that, look at that, perfect. So then since we have this stitch here, we don't want that stitch to keep like running out. So of course we just put the driver back in and we stretch it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and just stretch it over it. Okay, I think that's pretty far, yep. Then you take out the driver, that's pretty far. We could always squeeze it down a tiny bit. This one looks good. And then of course, you just trim off your slack wherever you want it to be. Okay. Let's just say that. Then when you cut that, you could either, burn it. Let me get my lighter. You can burn those stitches so that way they won't come off. Okay, and of course you tuck them in. That's pretty much the easiest way I can explain. These little ones here, pretty easy. We don't need that much pressure, so we could just put them on. You could just put it on your driver, just slide it right on. It'll go in. So let me do this one on camera for you guys to see real quick. Look at that. So then we go ahead, hold up, before we tuck that in, go ahead and just burn that. So that way it doesn't fall off. These we could just tuck in fairly long. They're just gonna go above. Let me show you here where they go. They pretty much go up here. This is for the rear shocks. And of course these just tuck them in. Then you can take like a small tool, and if they come out like right here, like that, what's it doing? A small tool, and just tuck them in. Because we're gonna need this little lip. Some smaller springs are tedious because you need enough material so that way it won't come out of the seams here to be stuffed in. So you have to use as much material as you can. You just tuck it right in. There we go. And then it goes like so. Just like that. There you go. So that was the easiest way I can find when it comes to mounting the actual rubber, pretty much, or whatever you want to call it, the cover, shock cover, onto there. So this is your finalized product. This is what you're looking at when you purchase RC Skin's shock covers from rcskin.com. Pretty much this is we're gonna put it through a rigorous test and later have a review on these shock covers. So far they seem pretty durable. They're real tough. I struggled to put them in the springs themselves, but They seem pretty durable, so let's see how they do out in the track. So I'll catch you guys later. Like always, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll have some close-up footage for you guys.